Hello everyone and welcome to my Y&R Insider 24 update channel. Well, don't you two look good together again? The Young and the Restless. Nate comforts Victoria after her loss. Image, JPI. Nate and Victoria have been shown to be very good together on screen, and Nate was not going to let Audra fool him after his previous relationship ended badly. From a soap opera point of view, Victoria's heart was broken when she lost Cole, and taking solace in some male company might be just what she needs. Characters don't often stay single for very long before they are introduced to their new accessory. Is this what we are witnessing now? Are we being set up to see a new relationship between Victoria and Nate? The discussion has already begun on the Soap Central message boards, and soap fans don't miss a thing. Victoria and Nate were instantly very chummy. The Young and the Restless. Nate broke up with Audra because he no longer trusted her. Regular contributor Zorigonian started with, "I guess Victoria is done mourning Cole. She has shed her downbeat demeanor and is now eager to receive Nate's individual attention." Nate also sat next to her on the bench and was very close and involved with her. He held her hand and wrapped his arm around her. I'm surprised he didn't stroke her hair. They are going very quickly with these two. Vicky seems more than willing to pick up where they left off. Nate thinks Vicky is trying too hard to be cute. Why the haste? Funny how she now remembers Nate is such a good man. She let her father and NE quickly dump him back when they worked together. Moreover, Nate is such a decent man that he dumped Elena for Victoria. When Elena discovered them together in that LA rooftop cafe, Victoria was extremely content. I still remember when Elena threw the water in Nate's face. Oh yes, he's such a good man, but also a good cheater. The Young and the Restless. That look that Victoria is giving Nate. Image, JPI. 2 of each was added. Nate and Victoria are both hurting and alone. They've already been together, so there isn't a need for that butterflies in the tummy getting to know you phase. Even though he's in a mess of his own, Nate has been very kind to her. Since Nate likes wounded sharks, I can certainly see why she would be interested. I can understand why he isn't afraid. Camille78. I love Nate and Victoria together and hope they pair them again. The post by board member Soapy Hands read, "My biggest worries are my dad dearest and Audrey Oopsie, the envious psycho. But Victoria, daddy's little girl, worries me the most. Both are control freaks. Lil lying Audra deserves any ounce of pain she gets. Every tear of pain and loss brings tears of joy to me. Victor can only love in a transactional and conditional way. It's either his way or no way at all. You got that?" For their love, she and Cole stood up to Victor. I know Nate will. But will Victoria stand up to her father to profess her love for Nate and to defend herself for Nate? We'll see. For now, the jury's out on whether this is the start of something beautiful or if it's just two people being there for each other in a time of need. I know which direction I want to go. What about you? Why we adore Abby Newman Abbott Winters so much? On The Young and the Restless, Kane shared his side of the story about France. Although Chance did not receive a screen memorial on The Young and the Restless, he is still remembered thanks to his ex-wife Abby. Abby disappeared around halfway into the sojourn that much of the Y&R cast took to Nice, France, last summer. Sure, there were a lot of characters to service, but Abby's reaction to Chance's death should have gotten some thoughtful airtime. Long-time grudges are a staple on The Young and the Restless. Jill and Catherine, the late, great Jean Cooper, argued for decades over Kay's role in Philip's death. So, if Abby wants to scream at Kane every time she sees him for the rest of our lives, we're on board. Abby spoke harshly at Kane, reminding the billionaire that 3 people, including Chance, the father of her son, died at his chateau. Kane said he was sorry with the same tone that people used to say, "I'm sorry you're upset," which never really helps. I hope you're prepared to face Nina, Abby informed Kane. We are also looking forward to that. Kane was advised by Abby that he could go back in time and make different choices if he really wanted to assist. We love seeing fierce, protective Abby on our screens. Want more information? You are ours. Soap Central has the best full Y&R recaps on the internet. You can even read all of them from more than 30 years ago. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers, too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously do not, forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs, Hey, admit it, we're funny, in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show, and the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. Comment down below, as always. Opportunities in Genoa City, The Young and the Restless continues to be one of the most emotionally charged dramas on television, thanks to a certain spark that reverberates through Genoa City whenever two familiar souls meet again. In recent episodes, that spark ignited between Nate Hastings and Victoria Newman, two characters whose chemistry once set the screen ablaze. Now that Nate and Victoria are both suffering from heartbreak, Nate from Audra Charles' betrayal and Victoria from Cole Howard's death, it appears that fate has once more placed them in each other's orbit. The question is, are we witnessing the birth of a new chapter in their story, or are these two simply seeking comfort in shared pain? When Nate sat beside Victoria, gently comforting her after her recent loss, it was more than a moment of sympathy. It was an unspoken understanding between two wounded hearts. In the past few months, both have been emotionally wrecked, are trying to find equilibrium in a world that constantly tests their love and loyalty, and are desperately looking for something real. The way Nate wrapped his arm around Victoria's shoulders, the calm assurance in his voice, and the smirk on her face were not the actions of strangers. These were the echoes of a connection that never truly died. A story told through perseverance and complications. Nate Hastings and Victoria Newman's history is steeped in intensity and controversy. Although passionate, their previous relationship was built on unstable ground. Sean Dominic, who played Nate with quiet charisma, was having an affair with Victoria when he was with Elena Dawson. Their rooftop rendezvous in Los Angeles became one of the most talked about scandals on Y&R that year. Elena's heartbreak was palpable, and her retaliatory splash of water across Nate's face remains one of those indelible soap moments that fans still reference today. For Victoria, portrayed by Amelia Heinle, the attraction to Nate wasn't just about chemistry, it was about validation. At that time, she was entangled in Newman Enterprises politics, constantly vying for her father's approval while struggling to maintain her own identity. Nate represented something different, someone who saw her not as Victor Newman's daughter, but as a woman worth desiring and understanding. Yes, their affair was rash, but it was also genuine. It revealed Victoria's vulnerability beneath her polished exterior. Nate is still hurting from Audra's deception, and Victoria is still grieving Cole's death, so their reunion seems both inevitable and risky. Two people who are broken in similar ways can either heal each other, or destroy each other completely. On the message boards, fans have shared their feelings of love, judgment, and hope. Soap fans are nothing if not perceptive. On the Soap Central message boards, where viewers analyze each lingering glance, hesitant touch, and line of dialogue, the discussion about Nate and Victoria's possible rekindled romance has already begun. The sentiment was perfectly summed up by Zoragonian, a regular contributor. I guess Victoria is done mourning Cole. She has shed her gloomy demeanor and is now eager to receive Nate's individual attention. The comment accurately reflects how quickly The Young and the Restless frequently transitions from grief to romance, a pacing that frequently fascinates as well as frustrates fans. Indeed, viewers have noticed that Victoria seems unusually quick to let Nate back into her emotional space. Vicky seems more than willing to pick up where they left off, Zoragonian continued, pointing out how Nate was handsy and close, with his arm around Victoria and his hand clasping hers. The way they talk to each other suggests that feelings that were never completely gone are coming back. But not all fans are convinced this is a good idea. When Elena caught them together, Victoria was portrayed as both confident and cold, according to some memories. The same fans question whether Nate, who cheated before, can truly be the good man Victoria now seems to see him as. Another user, two of each, took a more sympathetic approach. Victoria and Nate are both hurting and lonely. They've already been together, so there isn't a need for that butterflies in the tummy getting to know you phase. This is a valid observation. When two people share a romantic past, it's easy for emotional walls to crumble quickly. The sense of familiarity can make the rekindling of intimacy feel natural, even when it might not be wise. Others, like Camille78, are rooting for them without reservation. I love Nate and Victoria together and hope they pair them again, she wrote, capturing the optimism that keeps fans invested in Y&R's ever-shifting romantic web. However, not all voices are as lenient. "My biggest concerns are Daddy Dearest and jealous psycho Audra," said Soapy Hands, a board user. This fan's comment highlights the external forces that have always defined Victoria's love life. Her father Victor Newman's controlling nature and the lingering chaos that seems to follow Nate wherever he goes. Soapy Hands continued, "Victor can only love conditionally and transactionally. It's either his way or there's no way. In Victor's world, love is power, and power is everything," and the words of the fan echo a truth that has defined the Newman family for decades. Two wounded souls seeking solace. Nate and Victoria pairing up once more makes perfect sense from a storytelling perspective. The emotional cycles of betrayal and reconciliation in soap operas are what make them so successful. Both of the characters are going through life transitions and are looking for stability. Nate has been burned by Audra's duplicity. Victoria has been shattered by the loss of Cole, a man who represented both unfinished love and unhealed regret. In many ways, Victoria's attraction to Nate now may stem less from romance and more from survival. She is confronting the fragile nature of love and the emptiness that results from loss after losing Cole. Nate's presence offers her comfort, distraction, and the illusion of control. Similarly, Nate, after being deceived and humiliated by Audra, is searching for validation. His relationship with Victoria offers him a sense of worth and belonging, especially since their bond once felt powerful and forbidden. Their chemistry on screen has always been undeniable. When Nate leans in, when Victoria smiles just a beat too long, viewers can sense the undercurrent of suppressed emotion. Despite knowing each other's weaknesses, these two people still find themselves drawn to one another. One thing is for certain. Genoa City has not seen the end of their story, whether it be love or emotional dependence. The Newman factor, love in a watchful world of course. No relationship involving a Newman ever exists in a vacuum. Every romantic decision made by Victor Newman's children is surrounded by his shadow, and Victoria has long been his most difficult child. She's inherited his ambition, his intelligence, and his stubborn streak, but she also shares his deep-seated fear of vulnerability. Victor's reaction to a renewed romance between Victoria and Nate would almost certainly be explosive. The last time they were together, Victor made no secret of his disapproval. Nate, in his eyes, was ambitious, unpredictable, and potentially dangerous to the Newman legacy. For Victor, loyalty to the family business often outweighs loyalty to family members themselves. Even if it means controlling every move Victoria makes, he wants what he considers to be the best for her. Now, whether Victoria will finally stand up for herself and the choices she makes or continue to live her life under her emotional father's control is the question. As Soapy Hands wrote, she and Cole stood up to Victor for their love. I know Nate will. But will Victoria stand up to her father to defend herself for Nate? It's a challenge not just for Victoria as a character but for the writers as well. Can they allow her to evolve beyond being her father's daughter and become her own woman again? A storm named Audra, then there's Audra Charles, the wild card in all of this. Beautiful, cunning, and unrepentantly manipulative, Audra left Nate emotionally scarred. In addition to being personal, her betrayal was professional and psychological. Nate prided himself on his judgment and control, and Audra's deceit ripped that foundation apart. If Victoria and Nate do pursue a second chance, Audra will not take it lying down. Although she tries to act confident, her jealousy could easily turn into an obsession. She has already demonstrated that she is capable of plotting to achieve her goals. A love triangle between these three characters could reignite the kind of romantic tension that The Young and the Restless excels at. A high-stakes mix of passion, revenge, and emotional manipulation. Audra's presence also serves as a reminder that Nate is far from perfect. He may play the role of Victoria's comforter now, but his past infidelities can't be ignored. If temptation and ambition collide, the man who betrayed Elena might one day betray Victoria again. The power of grief and resilience in parallel stories. Abby Newman Abbott Winters and her unwavering devotion to the memory of Chance Chancellor are highlighted in the episode alongside Nate and Victoria's storyline. Abby's behavior is still shaped by the gaping wound Chance's off-screen death left in Genoa City. Her confrontation with Kane Ashby was one of the episode's standout moments. Abby's raw anger, reminding Kane that 3 people died at his chateau, including her son's father, showcased the fiery strength that has always defined her. Her statement, "If you truly want to help, then go back in time and make different choices," struck a chord not only with Cain but also with all of the characters who have attempted to justify the results of their mistakes. Abby's grief mirrors Victoria's in many ways. Both women are learning to live with loss while navigating a world that expects them to remain composed. Like Victoria, Abby is strong because she can turn pain into determination. Why we root for Victoria and Nate. Nate and Victoria's shared humanity is at the heart of their attraction. They are not perfect, far from it, but that's precisely what makes them compelling. Both have made questionable choices in love, both have allowed pride to sabotage happiness, and both have paid dearly for their mistakes. Yet here they are again, finding comfort in each other's presence. Their relationship challenges the idea that solitude is necessary for redemption. Instead, it suggests that healing can sometimes be found in connection, that two broken people can, together, find balance. It's a theme that resonates deeply with audiences who have watched Victoria grow from a headstrong young woman into a seasoned executive and mother, and who have seen Nate evolve from a principled doctor into a man torn between ambition and love. If the writers play this right, their renewed romance could become one of Y&R's most nuanced love stories. Not a fairy tale, but a mature exploration of second chances. The verdict: love, lust, or just another lesson? As of now, the jury's still out on whether Victoria and Nate's rekindled connection is genuine love or a temporary distraction from grief. From a soap opera perspective, both possibilities are deliciously viable. Two strong personalities will learn to trust and forgive one another if they truly fall in love once more. If it all implodes, the fallout will fuel months of riveting drama, angry confrontations, shattered trust, and, perhaps, yet another Newman family implosion. The fact that this plot reflects the complexity of real-life relationships is what makes it so engaging. People don't always make rational choices when they're lonely. Sometimes they reach for the person who once made them feel alive, even if it's not wise. Even though Victoria and Nate's relationship isn't perfect, it is real because of their longing, loss, and shared vulnerability. Conclusion: the heart of Genoa City still beats. As Genoa City continues to spin in its eternal cycle of love, betrayal, and redemption, The Young and the Restless once again proves why it remains a cornerstone of daytime television. The pairing of Nate Hastings and Victoria Newman isn't just another soap romance, it's a study in human resilience. It's about two people daring to feel again after being broken. Whether they end up together or apart, their story reminds us that healing is messy, love is complicated, and no one in Genoa City ever stays down for long. The chemistry between Nate and Victoria has reignited the fanbase, sparking debates, predictions, and passionate opinions. Some see it as a fresh start, others see it as a mistake waiting to happen. But in true Y&R fashion, the uncertainty is exactly what keeps viewers coming back. Because in the world of The Young and the Restless, love is never simple, and that's precisely why we can't look away.